All right. Oh, right. It has a launcher. I still have a headache. I still have a... I don't know where it came from. Like, I was fine up until, like, a half hour ago. And then my brain just started to get angry. I guess my head, it's not really my brain. We'll just call it my brain. It's very unfortunate. I don't know, maybe it's like a sinus headache or something. My sinuses don't feel... It's not often. Both my nostrils are clear. Both of them is very clear, which is weird. But, alright. Either way. So, headache. Yay. We, maybe got like about a little around halfway yesterday. And, this morning, I think we're right at the end. I think I stopped right before the end. We picked up at the Yukel's camp. We told them to get ready to go to town. We got to town and the doctor hadn't showed up, so we had to go to the clinic. We had to take the funicular up. We made our way through the clinic, got Kirk, and then we headed out. And we took the boat. We got attacked by the Kraken, and then we ran ashore at Barandur, which has an amusement park. So we went through the amusement park, and they had some sort of, I don't know, nuclear fallout radiation around there, which really didn't come into effect at all. Weird. Like, we never really had to bother with that, which was strange. I thought that was gonna, like, play some sort of, like, key role, and we really didn't need to, per se. So there was radiation, like, above ground, so we took a tunnel underground. We ended up at a sports complex. I think it was, like, the former Olympic sports complex. We found a temple there for the Yukol people. They performed their ritual, and we moved on to the border to Yakistan, and that's where we are right now. We are at the border to Yakistan, and we have to... The Yukol's bridge collapsed or was torn down, and so we need to talk to, I don't know, some border guard to get permission for the Yukol to cross. A Yukol border guard, not like a regular border guard, but a Yukol specific border guard. Like, it's, I guess, is his job. He lives there. So I think that's what we're about to do right now, is to go talk to the border guard. There were some interesting puzzles yesterday. Definitely some stuff we got hung up on. Like, there were some moments where I just felt like I was, like, wandering around nothing. Some very, like, confusing progression, for sure. Very confusing progression, for sure. But... Yeah, it's super convenient. Yeah, where that load was just right here. That's beautiful. You don't have to worry. Alright, so he's got a yurt. Like a scarecrow? Where's the line that goes across?
I'd better go see the Watcher before I try to cross.
Probably shouldn't explore. We should probably talk to the guy in the hut first. Sometimes, yeah, order of operation. Sometimes things don't work in a great way. Let's go talk to the dude.
Ah, yes, that's her. Kate Walker.
So,
The one who left her old life far behind her. So since then, she's been running, and she isn't stopping. A traveler with no destination.
everything okay? I'm here. Hello, spirits.
Hello. Sorry for interrupting your, conversation, but
The spirits love to have a chat, Kate Walker. And they love interfering in our affairs.
spirits?
Sometimes they protect you. Sometimes they abandon you to your fate. We have trouble understanding them. They tell me that Kate Walker is accompanying the new migration of the yokels and their ostriches.
That's right. The Yukels need your benediction to be able to cross, and
They say a great danger threatens you. The spirits like to warn of danger. It makes them feel important.
yes, people are chasing us, which means it's even more important for us to have your authorization to cross.
But first, there's a test. With the spirits, there are always tests to pass. And there are always presents you have to give. You may give anything you wish, just as long as it's vodka.
Alcohol for the spirits. Really?
I didn't know the spirits like to drink.
I'll be doing the drinking, and through me, the spirits will get soused. It puts them in a very good mood.
Yeah, I see. And after that, you'll let us pass?
You must also recite the incantation, and then after that, the caravan may go to the sacred lands.
Alright, so what do we got here? Incantation.
Can you tell me more about the incantation we have to recite?
It's a prayer to the spirits that's been handed down from shaman to shaman.
And what kind of prayer?
The spirits need signs. They understand the language of fire and smoke. It is hoped that Kate Walker will find what is needed on the other side of the river. The remains of migrations past are still there, but the spirits only reveal all secrets once the offering of vodka has been made. The spirits are very uncompromising when it comes to business, Kate Walker.
So we need to give him alcohol before he'll tell us more.
And what about that alcohol you need? Where can I get some?
That should not pose any problem at all for Kate Walker. The spirits don't have a particularly favorite brand.
Did the spirits say anything else about me?
Your virtues. They may ultimately cause your loss, Kate Walker. Be careful, Took.
That's all.
From trials comes strength.
Your spirits really do like to generalize. Okay, I've got work to do. I'll go find a way to get you something you can use to toast your immaterial friends with.
The spirits are also very sensitive, Kate Walker. They don't like being laughed at, so...
Yeah, I don't care. I would also like to meet these spirits. If you could talk to them, why can't I talk to them? It's rude. They're rude. They're very rude. They don't like to be laughed at, but they're rude. Spirits are a little too sensitive, huh? So we need to find him some alcohol. Not all sure how we're gonna go about doing that. So this is for like the trolley, right? Well, maybe it would be. How do I get over there? Can I get into here, the hut? No. Alright, I guess we're just going back across the bridge. Doesn't look like there's anything over here. I really thought we were gonna find something. a tool, an item, anything. We found absolutely nothing. There's nothing in his shed. I mean, we got information, I guess. There doesn't seem to be anything over here. Doesn't seem to be anything over here. What am I stuck on?
What is he waiting for? Finally.
So he's having second thoughts, huh? We told him we'd bribe him.
What is he doing? Hey, wait!
See that ukulele that was above its ostrich slide down? It's good. Okay, so we can go into his office, though. So he just pieced the fuck out. That's cool.
What is his problem?
Is that a... Oh, it's a brick. We can smash stuff with bricks. Like faces and people and windows and people. We are 110% busting that window in.
The bridge controls are right there.
They sure are.
Let's try something else.
This is the brick. The brick. We have no pro- Why does it do this? Oh, good. So I'm not allowed to interact with the door now? Alright. The activation points are very finicky. I don't know what's been happening, but sometimes they don't activate. Like, it's a proximity thing, but sometimes, like, we'll be in, like, a zoomed in, like, specific scene, and the action points would just straight up disappear. That's not good.
With the customs officer gone, there's no way to get the Yukels across without someone staying on this side. Right. Well, we'll see about that later.
Yeah, but they can ride across the little tram. That's what that'll be. Like, someone can stay there, but then we can bring them across on the tram. Russia need you. Listen to Russia. Oh, he's got a little
A
house
pile
here.
of the customs officer's papers.
What we got? Customs officer's pile of papers. Why would I want that? Why would I want that? You got alcohol on the table? So he lives here at this little outpost, huh? We unlock this door? No? That would be so nice. This is a cool little cabin. Probably get super lonely, but cool little cabin. No? What were the papers for then?
Old customs forms.
We just gonna burn it? I'll burn it. I'm not above burning things. They call me the Burninator. Is it? Threw a brick through the window for no particular reason?
With the customs officer gone, there's no way to get the Yukels across without someone staying on this side. Right. Well, we'll see about that later.
Threw a brick through the... I just broke it and entered it. Now that's breaking the law. Oh, breaking the law, breaking the law. That is breaking the law. Without question. He said he frequently sent alcohol over to him. I don't know why they have some, like, sort of sarcophagus here. No, don't send it back. I wanted it over here. I wanted to inspect it. I didn't know what I was looking at. I'm offended by that.
Nothing. Let's try something else. It doesn't work. Nothing. No way. Impossible. Not a chance. That's not right. Impossible. Nothing.
None of that was correct. Scammed again. Where we gonna find them alcohols, though? I figured they wouldn't let us pull the lever again. There's no reason to, like, mess with the water wheel. Oh, we could talk to the people at the caravan. I could talk to Kirk again, too. Doesn't seem like there's any alcohol around here, but the Yukels could have some. alcohol for sure. Let's go talk to Kirk first. I don't think we're gonna brew alcohol, right?
News from the Watcher?
Okay.
Misketwalk saw? Sacred steps there, right ahead.
I mean, yeah.
Shaman finally wake up? Resting on Great Ostrich in house? Hard to believe.
Holy Lenza!
True.
After River, all tribe will be safe.
Our friend the shaman is up there. She's resting after the ritual, and I'm making sure she has everything she needs.
Alright, let's go talk to her, I guess. It doesn't look like there's anything in her cabin here.
How do you feel, Mrs. Ayahuasca?
Trance of ceremonies eat all strength. So, shaman, very, very weak.
I'm sorry to interrupt your convalescence, but there's a problem with the Watcher on the other side of the bridge.
What problem? Asks for fuel for spirits? Vodka always fuel for spirits.
Yes. Would you happen to have any in your provisions?
No more fuel. Shaman, all used up for sacred ritual.
It doesn't matter, don't worry about it. I'll find another way of getting some. The Watcher also asked me to recite a kind of prayer so that the tribe can cross. Can you tell me more about that?
Miss Kate Walker must make signals of smoke with old machines of the ancestors.
Signals?
Ayahuasca uses sometimes above.
What? Alright, let's look through her shit.
She fell asleep.
Hey, was that the statue I used for bashing? Drugs. Carrying needles is bad, okay? I don't know what half this shit is. Like, there must be something else in here, right? Was not what I expected to pick up there. We take the drum? No, apparently not. Things don't exactly move in a logical fashion. Got like dog toys and shit in here. Hey, maybe it was just the staff. Stop it. Why do you... I feel like we fondled everything in here. I don't think that there's anything else. I think it was just the staff. Oh, it's a wooden spoon. Things that seem innocuous can, like, do something, though. But I guess there really isn't anything else in here. Even, like, something small could be helpful. Mandatory, you know. Oh. TP for me, bunghole. I guess the only thing in here was the staff. I mean, I could be wrong. Game's pretty much like kicked us out of those things.
Euchal symbols. Euchal symbols.
You're zooming in on the wrong point.
Euchal symbols.
Circle. Green
Euchal
circle.
symbols. Euchal symbols.
Why does it focus in the middle of it? That's so stupid. I feel like this is important.
Euchal symbols.
Green circle. Green circle. Blue figure 8. Purple squiggle. Red like spiral. Maybe. Okay, so she didn't have alcohol.
Our friend the shaman is up there. She's resting after the ritual, and I'm making sure she has everything she needs.
Watcher should already have spoken.
Watcher did spoken.
No
Gre-
way.
Greedy sumbitch. Let's see our cabin. Flint, okay.
The Yukels have stored all of the things I've managed to take out of the clinic. That's so nice of them.
Alright, but it did let me pick up a couple things. We got our knife and the flint. These cabins seem so much bigger than they appear on the outside. Is that like video game logic where you're like in a JRPG town and the house is super small, but then you go inside and it's freaking massive? Oh, like a little quaint little cabin. Oh my god, it's a mansion.
Terrible! What happened to Sacred Bridge?
Alright, let's go talk to our friend again. Kirk. There's no way we're getting back across. So we'd have to send the alcohol on. Maybe we distill? Maybe that's what that thing is a distiller. You don't make alcohol like instantaneously. But maybe that's what we're doing with the machine over here.
News from the Watcher?
Yeah, he wants booze, dude. You got any booze? Oh, there was the little thing over here. Maybe we use our knife on it? I think we picked up our knife, right? Maybe we can break it? Yep. There we go. I don't know why we did that. Quarter resin? Why didn't you pick up the entire... Why'd you cut a... Why is it a quarter? It's not a mistake.
They're damp from being outside.
You're damp from being outside.
How odd. A kind of pan or oven, I guess.
Looked like the backside had stuff here. Okay, so the shaman's thing showed us left to right, but what left to right? Let's just start it right here. So this would be the green one, and that was a circle. Right, funnel 4.
An engraved symbol.
So that was the green one. Okay. The next one was the figure 8. Right? It's probably not a figure 8. One of these is a figure 8 and one of these is a spiral, I guess. That looks like a spiral, so maybe... No. Would like to observe this one, please, and thank you. I think that was correct. I actually think it was correct.
An engraved symbol.
Okay. That's not the one I thought we were looking at. I wanted to look at this one.
An engraved symbol.
So this one's the figure 8, so that one goes here. This one is spiral. Not the spiral. This one's the swirl thing. The squiggle. This one's the squiggle, so that was the bottom one here. Right, that's it.
An engraved symbol.
And that one here is... It should look like a 6. Really, they're not gonna let us look at this one? Yeah, I can see it from here, but... Why is it so particular? You know, alright, we know we have to use that there, so... So if I did this right... Who knows? We go look at our inventory here. And we look at this.
Euchal symbols.
Yeah, and it shows circle,
Euchal symbols.
circle, 8, squiggle, and then circle, 8, squiggle, then red, 6. So it's red, green,
Euchal symbols.
purple, blue, red. I don't see it fast enough. Maybe 2 blue? Maybe it's both blue? Green,
Euchal
blue,
symbols.
blue, red? One might be purple. I don't know how much we have either. Blue resin, yellow, red. Yellow? So you put blue and yellow in to make green. You got red. Also looks like something's missing there. But this one's red. I don't know if it makes a difference where you put it. Just spinning on its own. I don't know how this works. Does it matter where I put it? It clearly has to matter, right?
No way. That's not right.
Maybe it doesn't. This one was green. Yellow. Blue. Yellow and blue make green seal. And these two, there's also a tray. There's also the tray at the bottom here. I don't know what that's about either. This? I don't know what the hell's going on with that either. Okay. Oh, I put the staff down. Okay, we did it wrong. And is that orange? That's orange. Right? What color is that? I thought it was green. What color is... Oh god, it's changing? Oh. The yellow? I thought it was green. Okay, so the one on the left, we have to go back behind here again. Everything's inverted. So that's wrong. Does say funnel 1. Does say funnel 4. Oops. We gotta close it, right? Means these are also inverted. I thought the numbering was just kind of there to like label it, not necessarily the order that it was going to go in. I was wrong?
Nothing.
What? Oh. I was looking at that one. That was not it. Just because you're looking at it doesn't mean it's correct. Okay, that should be correct now. Did we not put the log in there? I feel like something's missing. So the one on the left is red. I think we knew that anyways. I think that's what I have in here. Yeah, red's in there. And then crap, these two are blue. Blue. And put it right there. I don't know if it makes a difference. Maybe it's yellow. Because these two look blue to me. You've got red, 2 blue, and whatever yellow thing is going over here. Guess it's yellow. Now, why do we have 2? Do yellow resin. Make it mega yellow. No. I don't know if that's... I don't get why we would look in here like this. Can't do anything. I don't know what the purpose of that is. This just opens up the cabinet. Paper?
It'll take more than just the papers. I shouldn't use them for the time being.
Okay, so wood. Now? Lynn? Meant to close it? My bad. Okay, we got fire. So that's closed. Okay, so there's blue coming out of this one. That's good. What did we do with this one? How do we do that? Take a look at this. See why this one is working. In the middle? Alright. Let's see what I did wrong here. Let's just move the resin spot. I don't know if that makes a difference. I don't see why it would. No. I don't get it. Why is... Right, that just controls whether smoke's coming out or not. Just do this. Guess that makes sense. So... whatever. Why, game? What are you doing? And this one needs to be red. I don't know why that blue one's working. No. I was looking at the stick thing. Stick, stupid. Red, blue, blue, yellow, right? None of those are green or anything, right? So what's in the drawer? Did that do something? And that stops the smoke from coming out top, and it's coming out from the side. I think that helps me.
How odd. A kind of pan or oven, I guess. How odd. A kind of pan or oven, I guess.
Is it just not correct? I don't know what I'm doing with this thing here. Makes no sense. Why do you keep spinning when I let go? Gonna say, does it come out differently? Like, we have these... What's the purpose of these things? Right? I think we're missing information. So what is this? Why is there a tray here? The tray do anything? Selecting stuff with the right stick is not great. I think we need the booze, right? He said more information. We're missing something.
News from the Watcher?
No news from the Watcher. I mean, we got something going on there. What that something is, I have absolutely no idea. What do we have in our inventory now? I got a flint and a knife. That's it. There's got to be booze somewhere in the cabin, right? What's up, Sean? How you doing? You got good news and bad news. You got to eat more pals. Is both good and bad news? Oh!
Well, well.
Here we go. Hell yeah. There we go. That's what we needed. Well, well, well. That did not highlight last time. The bad news, the install version of Power World didn't update on your console. You can always, like, uninstall it and reinstall it, right? Usually there should be something that should say something along the lines of, like, update game, you know? I feel like that should be a fairly easy fix, right? Okay, so let's put... There we go. Alright. That's the good stuff. There we go. Let's go send that over. Here we go. Maybe he'll give us something. You did that and it didn't work? Do you know that it updated? Like, do you know what version it's supposed to be? Maybe the Game Pass version updates later? Do you know that there's an update available currently? Like a new one that you don't have? Oh, he sent something back. What did he send back?
Sawdust.
Bags of sawdust. It's supposed to be... Well, just look it up. Just look it up and see what the Xbox version is supposed to be, and that should solve your issue. The good news is you can play the game through cloud gaming, and it has the update on it. Oh, okay. Weird. Yeah, maybe whatever the Game Pass version is just hasn't updated yet. Sometimes those things got some fuckery. Look online and see if anybody suggests anything, you know? That's always a good way of going about shit. Okay, sawdust. Can I put... Oh... Yo, there we go. Okay, so sawdust goes in all the drawers. We got this. Hell yeah. So there was a step missing. We needed the alcohol. So how does the cloud gaming work? How is that different than Game Pass? Okay, so there's some tomfoolery going on with this middle one. Right? That doesn't look like a shape to me. That's supposed to be the current version, but that doesn't mean that that's the current Xbox version. That could be the current PC version, do you know? You just turned it on through Xbox Cloud Gaming? Oh, okay. I'm unfamiliar with that, man. But, I hate this so much. Oh, no. Maybe it is right. It just doesn't look right to me. What is this one supposed to be? Supposed to be a figure 8. I don't think it's right. I think something's off. Somehow we got the other ones right, but we don't have this right. Not what I wanted to do, game.
Let's try something else. No way.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we could... Oh, maybe this is messed up. Squiggles looks like it needs to be on the left and the figure 8 on the right. Maybe I screwed this up. Not want to put you back in there. Yeah, I think I messed this up anyways. Let's switch it. My bad. Maybe I put the same ones back in the same spot like a fool. Okay, that one goes here.
How odd. A kind of pan or oven, I guess.
Maybe it is right.
They're damp from being outside.
What's damp?
They're damp from being outside.
News from the Watcher?
They're damp from being outside. How odd. A kind of pan or oven, I guess.
I don't think that did anything. What's up, Moxie? How you doing? I don't think more than one type of resin does anything. I don't know what I'm trying to do. And maybe the shapes don't look quite right. Maybe you can refine it more? No. Maybe that's what we're trying to do? It looks like a 9. Wait, and that's a circle? The circle's on the right? Did I do this wrong again? Did I mess everything up? I think I did. How's your Friday going, Moxie? I'm an idiot. Just an idiot. I had it right the first time.
We have the Watcher's blessing for the crossing. Thank you, Kate Walker. On behalf of the entire tribe, 1,000 thank yous.
There's one problem. Without the customs officer, there's no one left to work the bridge, and...
I have the solution, Kate Walker. It looks like someone will have to stay on this bank so the others can cross. And I'm clearly the one to do that.
No, Oscar. Not again.
Kate Walker, once you find yourself safely across with the tribe, just use the zip line that I saw you enjoying yourself with a short time ago to bring me across in turn.
No. We'll swap roles. I'll get you across first, and then I'll cross with the zip line.
Your concern serves no purpose, Kate Walker. And...
The soldiers. We have to go.
Oscar!
Kate Walker. We need help. Quick!
It's like an Apache. They got like rockets and stuff.
Group together over there! Fast!
Go, go, go!
Contact. Cut circuit. Right and left elevator control. Inversion. Engage.
Oscar!
Kate Walker! No!
Perhaps you are looking for this.
Yes.
The game is over now, Kate Walker. Well, well, Miss Walker?
Very well. You've won, I suppose.
Got him.
Neutralize that damn cow!
Not a
Miss Walker, please take advantage of the trip to relax. We will have plenty of time to chat when we get there. All the time we need.
Kate Walker.
Is that the end of the game? just kind of ends there abruptly. Let's check out the DLC here. The Automaton with a Plan. Kate Walker disappeared after the Yukon ceremony in abandoned Olympia Stadium. Oscar decides to investigate. Note, to avoid spoiling your enjoyment of Syberia 3, we strongly recommend that you complete the abandoned Olympia Stadium section before playing this content. Are you sure you want to continue? I did. I beat the game. So we're gonna play the same way we played before. Audio stays the same. All right. Yep, let's do it. Let's check out the DLC here. Neat. Leaving the hell of the irradiated city of Baranor after shaking off the militia and private detective in hot pursuit, Kate Walker and the Yukon tribe arrive at the Olympia Stadium for the ceremony of the Red Moon. The young woman and her friend Oscar witness a very strange shamanic ritual.
Kate. Kate.
Who are you?
My poor Kate. You no longer recognize your real family. You need to come home now. You have to listen to your mother.
Yes, you must see that We are having great difficulty understanding how such a brilliant young attorney could turn to criminal activity.
We have taken recourse to the courts, Miss Walker. Rest assured things will not remain as they are.
You really need to understand, Kate. I couldn't wait for you forever.
You've really let us down, Kate. I was your best friend, your confidant.
So in the end, everyone was actually right. You're gone forever, Kate. Lost. You're dead, Kate. Dead.
Kate Walker? Is everything all right?
Yes, but I need some air. Please, let's go outside.
That was the same cutscene that was in the game.
Are you sure you're well? I don't mean to offend you, but for a moment you were in a different world, Kate Walker.
Ghosts. Nothing but ghosts. Right. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna try to get some sleep for a few hours before dawn.
I'll wait for you here. Then, good night, Kate Walker.
Good night, Oscar.
Kate! Oh, my poor Kate.
The courts, Miss Walker. We've had recourse to the courts.
I was your best friend, Kate.
You're dead, Kate. Dead. Kate.
Miss Walker!
Kate.
Kate Walker.
My poor Kate.
Kate Walker. This time you won't fool me with your little tricks. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Damn jalopy. No, just great.
Oscar.
Kate Walker? Time to wake up. All is well, Kate Walker. It is all over.
Thank you, Oscar. But Canton, did you see him?
See for yourself. He is just over there.
Is he...
He is fine. Please don't worry. Let's just say that he won't be chasing you again for quite some time. Now we should go. Your nomad friends are ready and waiting for us.
Tell me, Oscar, last night, when I was taken, what happened? I mean, how did you find us, and how did you get me free?
It's actually a long story, Kate Walker.
Kirk says we'll only get to the border tomorrow. I have lots of time.
Very well. I suppose that you can still remember the end of that strange nomad ceremony?
Yes. I didn't feel well, and you came outside with me.
That's right. You left to go to bed for the night, and we agreed that we would meet at the same place at dawn.
When did you realize I was gone?
Well, at dawn then. And of course you were late.
Were you worried right away? I'm touched, Oscar.
Well, yes, of course. The sun is already high in the sky and Kate Walker has not returned. Incorrigible. Let's wake her before she delays the entire caravan.
It was really weird. Really weird storytelling. Okay.
Someone has attacked Kate Walker. She must be found, quickly.
Who's he talking to? Someone's attacked her. We must find her. There's nobody around. Maybe he can't think in his head because, you know, he's an automaton, so he's got to say everything out loud. Okay, she's gone. Did anyone see anything? Did you see something?
Not see Miss Catwalk.
Miss Catwalk, unfindable.
Metal man look in New York of Miss Catwalk?
Miss Ketwalk must be in yurt.
Did look in the yurt.
Hello, Oscar. Have you found Kate Walker? We're waiting for her so we can strike the camp.
No, but I fear the worst. I found traces of a struggle in her yurt.
We must go find her quickly.
Let's go.
Let's go in that case.
I'm going to ask the tribe to look for Kate Walker. The ostrich keeper will lend you a yuki to use. It can be a great help. They have an incomparable sense of smell.
They're also really dumb.
Was the Yuki Kirk told you about of any use?
You really have no idea.
Okay.
Thanks for your help.
That person's waving. Hello.
Miss Catwalk not there?
Why'd you wave at me? I thought they were like summoning me over. Where do I get this Yuki from?
What if Miss Ketwalk decides sick of tribe?
True.
Metal man must still continue looking.
Miss Catwalk not there?
Also true.
Nobody here, Tuk Tuk.
Tuk tuk.
Migration seemed very, very difficult this time. Not scared of Metal Man. He's so funny.
Okay, but we're... here we go.
Powerful be the spirits with her.
Pet.
Hello, my young friend. I have been told the most wonderful things about your olfactory capabilities.
Also, pet again. Pet.
Hello, my young friend. I have been told the most wonderful things about your olfactory capabilities.
Petting things is very important. Okay, excellent. Hold for it to sniff. Yes, sniff me. Open the inventory. I don't have anything for it to sniff.
Don't move from here. I'll be back.
Let's just find Kate Walker.
You didn't have trouble getting a Yuki to obey you?
No, none. You must find Kate Walker. Come on, let's go. Seek now. Seek, find Kate Walker. Do you hear? Wait for me!
How does it know how to find her? It just knows her? Is that the same Yuki? Is that previous Yuki? Yuki number 1?
I think that you may just need some help.
It's lucky I left my old scarf in the end.
You should really have taken far greater care of your belongings all the same, even though I must admit it did eventually prove to be useful.
I looked around her hut the first time and we didn't see it there. She didn't leave it intentionally, did she? Good thing I left my scarf. Where, though? You did no such thing. Lies. There's nothing in there. Balderdash. I'm gonna hem and I'm gonna haw. Good thing I left my scarf. Where? I don't have it.
Where Miss Catwalk can be?
But I'm saying, lady.
What if Miss Catwalk decides sick of tribe?
Powerful be the spirits with her.
Right, right. But where's the scarf? You said good thing I left it behind. But it wasn't in the yurt. Scarf is anti-yurt. I mean, do I just go wandering around blindly looking for it?
Miss Catwalk not there?
I guess so.
Not scared of Metal Man. He's so funny.
Thanks for your help.
Alright, let's just, go look around then. Looking for her scarf. 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 Scarf.
Tribe find Miss Kitwalk. Quickly!
I know, that's what I'm attempting to do. Okay, do you know where the scarf is?
Nobody here, Tuk Tuk.
You do not know where the scarf is? Good. What's up, Rudy? How you doing?
Metal Man must still continue looking. Nobody here, Tuk Tuk.
Happy Friday. Hi, 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 hi,
Metal Man,
hi, hi,
news
hi.
about Miss Catwalk?
Metal Man, look in New York of Miss Catwalk?
Kunakmak, Metal Man.
So, not back in there. Banana and pizza? No, thank you. Pineapple and pizza? Totally. I did. I did watch the debate. And it made me sad. Made me very, very sad. Then I was watching a bunch of people talk about it afterwards, and that made me angry. Oh. Everybody wants to panic right now. Biden didn't do well. Trump didn't do well either. It was abysmal on both sides. Like, all's Trump came across, which all's Trump ever does come across as a complete asshole. Biden, he started out rough and then kind of like picked himself up a little bit and then just kind of went back into the rough category. It's not great. It's not great. I think, you know, the more I thought about it, the more I thought that Biden might have been sick. I don't want to make like excuses for him. He just didn't seem like himself after his State of the Union address. Like, I was like, damn, man, hell yeah, he's on point right now. Fuck yeah, this is great. And he just didn't seem to be his, like, normal self for some reason or another. I mean, you can say that it was like he had a senior moment. It could be age. It could be. You know? It could be a combination of things, but he did not look great out there. But all Trump did was lie the entire time. I think the only truth he ever said was he called the president, and he, you know? I think the only truthful thing Trump actually said was he referred to the president as a he. Everything else was just blatant fucking lies. Like, so much lies. I didn't sleep with a porn star. Then why did you give her all of that money? What was that whole thing about then? What was it about? What was it about then? Nothing Trump said. Not a single thing Trump said was factual. Nothing. Nothing.
They are blocked from the inside.
You like Trump? I do not like Trump. I think he's a terrible, awful, horrendous human being. And what's scary is democracy. Pure and simple. He said one of the first things he wanted to do when he got into office was turn it into a dictatorship. That's not good. That's not good for anyone. Like, you're challenging the tenets of America. That's not good. He wanted to challenge. He has such a fragile ego and he's such a narcissist that he can't admit defeat. The only reason why he could rationalize him losing the election was that it was rigged. So he went and challenged a bunch of different states, districts, counties, cities, and every single one of his claims was proven untrue. He had no evidence of tampering. The only evidence of tampering that we've seen was him begging the Georgia officials for them to find 10,000 votes. That's not good. And the only tampering that we have seen has come from Republicans. That's the only tampering that we've seen. So he couldn't accept the results, and then he riled up his fan base to the point that they stormed the Capitol. That's also frightening too. That's insanely frightening. And those people were riled up to the point where they had a gallows out in front of the White House, or the Capitol, I'm sorry. They had a gallows out in front for Mike Pence. Who does that? What kind of crazy person does that? They had what do you call it? Not the hog ties, but the straps that you use to like bind people or bind limbs with. Like, or trash bags. But they were using them, they were going to use them on people. Who does that? Like, it was so bad that they had to defend themselves. The people in the Capitol had to defend themselves, the Capitol Police, with violence. Like, that's not right, man. That's just not right. Like, you're challenging the tenets of America, and a lot of our tenets, amendments, rules, whatever, what have you, a lot of those are based on goodwill. Kind of like handshake rules. And a lot of people haven't really challenged those because people respected the core tenets of the country. And Trump is the first person that has demonstrated no goodwill. He just cares about himself. He doesn't care about the United States, and he's done it over and over and over again. That he doesn't care about people. He'll say he does. When he's like, if they're coming for me, they'll come for you. What are they coming for the other people for? They're going after Trump because he committed crimes, not because they just want to bring him down because he's target number one. No, they're going after him with actual crimes he committed. Like that he's a felon now. Those 34 counts that went down against him, 12 jurors found him guilty on all counts. All counts. That's insane. And I don't mean in like the evidence was overwhelming. It was so overwhelming that they found him guilty on every count. That's not a rigged system, you know? That's not a rigged system. That's 12 people sitting down, getting presented evidence, making educated judgments based on that evidence, and finding him guilty for it. Generally speaking, people, if the system's working properly, which it does have issues, But generally speaking, if the system's working in its correct way, people aren't just like randomly found guilty because of trumped up evidence. Evidence is real. There is a paper trail of what happened. There's evidence of things that he has done that have tainted things. And that's crazy. There was a Supreme Court ruling today that said the rioters can't be charged with obstruction. I'm a criminal, I'm a felon, I'm allowed to vote. I voted past 2 elections. Trump's a felon too, it doesn't matter. Just makes you like him more. I mean, do you, Rudy? Do you? I can't get behind someone like that. He has proven over and over again that he's not very intelligent and that he only cares about himself. He literally suggested people to inject household cleaner into them to get rid of COVID. He thought that drawing on a map would alter the direction of a hurricane. He thought that you could alter the direction of a hurricane with a nuclear bomb. He's not a smart person. He's not a smart person. He couldn't even stay awake during his trial. You would think that if you're on trial for something that you would pay attention to that. Like, that's really important. And he couldn't even keep his eyes open. And he's constantly attacking people.
Stuck.
He's a scared child. He's acting like a scared child. And that's not the kind of person I want representing me. Oh, he is racist. No, he's a racist and a bigot. There's no question about it. He absolutely is. There's plenty of evidence out there that speaks to that contrary, Sean. He is a racist. He's also stupid. He's both. You can be both. You can be racist and stupid. You know, there was a moment in time where I thought to myself, you know, I think a businessman could do something for the United States. Like, I would like to see a businessman come in and try to handle things better, because we've never seen that kind of front of things. But the more I read and understood and learned about how our government works, governments aren't run like businesses. They're not. They're different. And so trying to come in and run the government like a business, it's not going to work that way. And Trump very much proved that you can't do it that way. Things become a lot more inefficient. More issues arise when you do that. Just because you dislike someone, you fire them. You can't do that in the government. By and large, you can't. Appointed positions you can kind of do that with, but most people are elected. So you have to work with those people, and you have to find ways to work with those people. I'm not a fan of them. I am not a fan of him. I have tried to give him every chance under the sun to do something. Like, one thing that would make the world better for us. America better for us. And he's just never shown that he's even trying to do anything for the common folk. People constantly think, why would a fucking billionaire want to do anything other than improve things for him? He doesn't care about the small person. He doesn't care about the poor. He doesn't care about the middle class. He doesn't really care about the wealthy. He cares about the ultra wealthy. Anything that can improve that. And that's not something I can get behind. That's not something I can get behind. Cannot put that idiot back in the White House as dangerous. I agree. You already missed the day of CEO 2024, and it ain't running in repeats. What is that? What's up, X-Man? They told you they will end democracy. Do you need to hear more? Yeah, that's his plan, is to end democracy. He's been repeating that more and more, and that's scary. That's genuinely scary. I don't want a dictator. You know, what separates us and what does make us successful as a country, despite our bickering and stuff that we don't constantly agree on, is democracy. You know, your party gets a chance to run the country for 4 years if they win the vote, and another person's party gets 4 years to try to run the country, you know, if they win the vote. And it goes back and forth, and everybody gets a fair shake at it. You turn us into, you know, a dictatorship where just one person runs the country. We've seen that that doesn't work well. We've seen that that doesn't work well over and over and over. One of the reasons Putin invaded Ukraine is because of democracy. He has told his people over and over and over and over again that democracy doesn't work. And seeing the success that Ukraine has had and seeing the people flourish, he doesn't want his people to understand and see how successful their next door neighbor, their once former compatriots, are being. So it is there's multiple folds as to why he's invading Ukraine, but that's one of the reasons. Also ego, also the fact that he wants to leave a legacy. There's a ton of that. There's a ton of that. But that's just pure ego. And you're hurting your country by operating in that way. You know, he will get rich, but he's the only person that will get rich. Dictatorships only work for the people that are high up in charge. That's what Trump wants. And that's not okay. That's not what we are. That's not what America stands for. And I'm not all right with that. There's already enough, like, rich people pulling strings behind the scene. Just look at the Koch brothers. Biden is in the Catholic cult. You can't vote for any Catholic. I think there's a difference between Catholic and evangelical. I think there's a big difference between the two. Trump is a good Christian. Trump is not anything. Trump is not associated with anything. He doesn't know the Bible. That guy went to church like maybe once or twice in his life. He's not a religious person. He's not a religious person. I'm not a fan of religion either, but most Republicans run on the banner that they are strong, faith-filled individuals. And some Democrats do too. But no, Trump's not a Christian. Trump doesn't believe in God. His God is the dollar. That's his God. Trump is very much, it's the worst kept secret. It's the worst kept secret in the world. Anyone that believes that Trump is a Christian in any way is drinking some sort of Kool-Aid that I don't want any part of. Trump lies constantly. He can't tell that. He is physically incapable of telling the truth. He will say what he thinks anybody wants to hear to get them onto his side. Trump is very much. What do you think Christians are? They all worship the same God. Catholics, Christians, Baptist, whatever you want, whatever denomination of Christianity you're under. It's all the same thing. Literally all the same thing. Catholics are not Christians, then what are Catholics? If Catholics are not Christians, what are they? Catholics are a branch of Christianity. They worship Christ. I grew up in the Catholic Church. I grew up Roman Catholic. They are definitely Christians. That's the definition of Christianity, is the worship of Christ. Catholics have many false doctrines. Go for it. Educate me. Satanism is the devil's church. Can't fool me on basic shit like that. You were Presbyterian, still a load of crap. Protestant Christians protest against the Catholics. Okay. But what are these false doctrines? Hit me up. Hit me up. I don't like conspiracy theory shit. Catholics worship Mary? They hold her in high regard. Absolutely, she is the mother of their savior. Catholics worship statues? No, they don't. That's one of the tenets, is that they don't. You know, no false idols, right? Catholic call a priest father. They do that. What about the people who died but didn't know about the Bible? They went to heaven or hell according to how they lived their life. No, they probably went to hell, according to most Catholics. The Pope is the Antichrist. I don't think the Antichrist actually exists. Why would you call the Pope the Antichrist? What you got for me? You're not answering any of my questions, Rudy. You're just, like, spouting stuff. You're just saying things. Like, back up your stuff here. Back up your stuff here. Like, show me evidence and stuff like that of what you're saying. You can say, I can say stuff too. It's all facts. Okay, show me how it's facts. Just show me how it's facts. Like, show me. There's a handful of definitions of the Antichrist, but the Antichrist is supposed to be the, you know, the devil for all, you know, the opposite of Jesus, what he represents. So it's supposed to be the devil coming to earth and starting the end times, you know. So the Antichrist, you have Christ, and at some point the Antichrist is supposed to come to earth, and it's supposed to start, you know, the church's version of, you know, Ragnarok, the end of the world, you know, the end of the days. Horns are supposed to blare, you know, from the heavens, and heaven and hell are unleashed onto earth, and there's supposed to be some sort of, like, great holy war. So the Antichrist is supposed to have that happen. Lots of people over the years have been called the Antichrist because people see it as like an insult. You're so evil, you know. You're typing on the phone. Well, I would like people to refrain from talking about stuff that they don't have any proof for. I don't like trolling into the dredges of conspiracy theory. You keep telling people it can't be Trump because he will come in an attractive form. The devil's stepson that's after Antichrist takes his place, though? Right. You're a believer. Why so mad? Because it's going to happen, you can't change it. Well, that's if you're religious. That's if you're religious. Lots of people are calling Trump the Antichrist. What proof you want? Everything that you said. You said a bunch of stuff, and I want you to back it all up. You know what you said. Back that shit up. Show me what you got, man. Educate me. Antichrist is going to come and take the power and end the world. You're just calling him an idiot? Yeah, he is. He's just a fucking moron. And call no man your father. You got it. Well, the Catholics call the priest the father for a specific reason, and also, like, if you're gonna quote the Bible at me, we gotta not have hypocrisy in there either. There's a lot of cherry picking that happens in the Bible. So is it okay to call your actual father? Now, are you just having fun, or are you like being like serious here? How about we get that out of the way too? You just trolling here, or are you being dead serious, Rudy?
Where can she be?
Oh, that's right. She left her scarf here. Because she punched the trophy case. That's right. Let's talk about Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Is Holy Ghost equal to Mother? They're all the same person, Axeman. Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost are all the same person. It's all God. It's all God. Remember, Jesus is his own Father, and the Holy Ghost also is a representation of God. So, all three of them, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, all three are the same person. He's your dad. They're calling the priest a spiritual father. Right. It's your spiritual father, which is okay as well. See, now you're just making an excuse. Now you're just making an excuse. He's your dad, right, but it says don't call anyone father. It literally says don't call anyone your father, so you're already making an excuse for that. Your biological dad is your father. The Bible says you cannot call him a father, so that's hypocrisy. Right? Call your dad dad then? Right, and you could just call the priest Bill. You're playing as Oscar? Yeah, we're playing as Oscar. You always call your dad dad? Do you ever call him daddy? Pops? Poppy? Seen a bunch of graven images? Nope. Alright, so we go out this way? I don't know where we are now. How you doing, Free Infinity? Happy Friday. We go this way. That'll bring us back over to the pen, I think. Right? Yeah, I forgot she had dropped her scarf up there. There we go. Alright. There's a lot of things in the Bible that we've kind of moved on from. That kind of like hold people in poor light and say some pretty, I would say, ignorant things. There's a whole section that talks about how women should never hold a higher place than man, and women shouldn't talk to men and all that, and women shouldn't teach. There's a bunch of that in the Bible. There's also step-by-step instructions on how to perform an abortion in the Bible. There's a lot of things in the Bible that are just what we could look by and nowadays go inappropriate and wrong. There's a ton of stuff in there, and people like to pick and choose their favorite passages to point out and say, hey, look at this, but things are out of context too. People like to quote stuff out of context as well. There's a lot of stuff in the Bible that's just blatantly wrong or just fucked up, or there's a lot of shit. And people also take a lot of stuff from the Bible as literal, and a lot of the early stuff in the Bible is allegory, which people don't understand what the hell allegory is. Problem is, you're arguing against one fewer religious factions than you're arguing against. You could just include your arguments to support yours. Yeah. Blacks got allowed into the Mormons like 6 years ago. Blacks weren't allowed to be Mormons? Really? Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that's the water underneath the earth. Catholics have many statues and idols. Lots of religions, of denominations of Christianity have images of Jesus. Like, just about every one of them do. They all have, like, the fucking crucifix in Jesus. Like, 99% of them do. Sure, the Catholics are a bit more ornate with their stuff, sure. The Mormons are pretty, too. The wealthy churches tend to be a lot more elaborate, intricate, have more statues and paintings and reliefs, whatever would have you. It's not just the Catholics. Black Jesus? I'm down with Black Jesus.
Wait for me!
Yeah, a lot of churches nowadays have their own representation of their version of Jesus. Thou shalt not bow down to thyself to them, nor serve them. Catholics bow down to statues. You're taking that very out of context. They genuflect in front of Jesus. They're praising Jesus. Those are false idols. Everything that you're talking about is supposed to be a false idol. You're taking things out of context. Don't bow down. They're not bow downing. They're genuflecting. Why am I defending this? I don't fucking care about these people. I don't give a shit about Christianity. or Catholicism. Whoa, there's 2 dogs!
She's in there. Well done, creature.
Why were there 2? Biden's a Catholic. Who cares? You know, not everybody that worships religion is a terrible human being. There are definitely bad people that are involved in religion. There definitely are. Who cares? What has Biden done in office that you don't agree with? How about we talk about that? I don't give a fuck if he's like part of the satanic church. If you're a good human being, I'm all for it. I'm not about big organized religion. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in a higher power, but I respect people's choice in that regard. I am sure that there's some cults out there that are harmful to people. Biden is for abortion? Yeah, he should be. Abortion's very important. It's a health concern. That's murder. Rudy, I don't think we can have a conversation. Abortion is, whether you agree with it or not, it's a health right. Bible says it's not murder. The Bible does not say anything about abortion. The only thing the Bible stipulates about abortion is actually how to perform one. There's nothing in the Bible that says you can't do abortions. In fact, there are things in the Bible that say abortion is actually a good thing. So don't quote the Bible at me for this one. That's just fact. But that aside, abortion is, whether you agree with it or not, is a mandatory health thing. The reason why that is because if you don't have sanctioned and clinical places that can perform those procedures, people are going to do it anyways. People are going to find ways to end their pregnancies for whatever their own personal reasons are, which are none of any of our businesses. And it's a simple fact that it's not my business, it's not your business what somebody chooses to do. Women kill their babies. Look, man, you can have your opinion on stuff. That's cool. A lot of Republicans out there have had abortions for their significant others, for family members. A lot of them are hypocrites. There's a lot of people out there representing Republican ideals that don't believe in it, that are hypocrites, that behind closed doors they do those things. What's the difference between the death penalty and an abortion? If you're against abortion, and you also, by being against thou shalt not kill, you should also be against the death penalty. That you should be against anybody dying in any way whatsoever. There shouldn't be a justification in any way then, according to that logic. You're right. Trump is for executions. That's hypocrisy. And we're all cheering, yeah, during wars and stuff like that. Why is it okay to kill during a war? That's not okay either, right? Thou shalt not kill, right? There's a lot of good Christians out there shooting people. A lot of good Christians. You know? You're gonna justify murdering in some way? I'm against the death penalty and against wars too. They're not good. Abortions need to exist because people need a safe way to do those things. Because they're going to do them anyways. Whether you agree with it or not, should have nothing to do with it. Also, not every human being believes in your religion. You have to understand that there is Judaism, there's Muslim. Their religion doesn't tell them to have to do that. And you can't push your ideologies onto somebody else. There's also agnostics, there's also atheists, there's also Taoists and Buddhists, and run the gamut. Run the gamut. Christianity is a large religion, but it's also not the world's largest religion. Encompassed in everything else, there's more other religions out there than Christianity. So you can't force your religious beliefs on other people. That's cool that you don't want to, and as a good Christian, you can sit there and go, look, I don't know your gender, Rudy. I'm not going to make an assumption, but you can say, I, for one, would not want to practice in that, and that's cool. If that makes you feel better, and that makes you think that, you're being a good person by doing that, then by all means, have that, Women should not have a say, only God has a say. When's the last time God communicated with you to tell you what to do? When's the last time you had an actual conversation with this supposed God? Knew a dude in high school who was Shinto, was not Japanese. God said, here's technology to solve the problem. Like I said, most religions don't have something against abortion. Most religions don't. Technically, Christianity doesn't either. People just made that shit up afterwards, after the fact. But abortion has to exist because it's a health concern. People are going to go and do it anyways. Backdoor clinics, they're going to do stupid shit at home. They're going to risk their lives. They're going to die. It's important to have safe places to do those things. And abortion clinics aren't just there to perform abortion. They're there to educate people. They're prenatal care as well. They're there to help people and help you during your pregnancy and stuff. They're not just there to perform abortions either, but they're going to happen whether you want them to or not. Also, it's none of your fucking business what somebody else does in that regard. We don't want Hemlock to make a huge comeback, right? Nightshade? Well, they're similar. Both poisonous herbs. Told you to look for them and also warned you not to get into your lust. Alright. 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 We're just gonna talk about video games now. We're done with this conversation. Let's play video games,
They are
guys.
blocked from the inside.
Okay, so there was something around the side here. There was like a elevator or something around the side. Go Otters. You eating your pals as well. You should eat all your pals, Sean. Fill yourself up. Bullet whizzing past your ear was God's voice. Alright. How about we oil up the door? No? There's a button on the side. Like, why can't we select the button? There's a button there, bro. There's a button? You should hit the button. So we need something to pry the door open with. I'm guessing that's what they're suggesting there. He's not trying anything, but we need like a crowbar or something maybe to get in there. Let's find our crowbar. Buttons are for poor people. Right, violence is the answer. What's up, Teak? How you doing, man? How was, did you beat, Alone in the Dark there? We should give Teak a shout out. We should give Teak. Every once in a while we give the shout outs, but give Teak an old shout out. Teak was going through Alone in the Dark. He was playing through the 2008 reboot, I think it's called. Alone in the Dark Inferno. I already did it, Bill, but thanks. I'm gonna have to get you quicker on them. Oh God, Bill's exposing himself. Everyone look away.
Well? What is it?
You finished it off twice, so you did both endings. Neither of which are satisfying. What'd you think about it, Teak? Yo, hell yeah. There we go,
You
crowbar.
certainly know how to be helpful.
That was helpful. And do you feel clean now, Bill? Did you wash your beard? Nice. Yeah, so what'd you think, Teak, of Alone in the Dark Inferno? That's it's an interesting game. We played through that this past October. Your butthole and your ears? Dude, people forget to clean out their ears. Do you guys wash your belly button? Lots of people don't wash their belly button, I found out. I was like, what sadistic people don't be lubing up their belly button? That's gross. That's nasty. You probably got like funguses and shit growing in there. Who doesn't clean their belly button? Also, yeah, I found out people don't wash their ears either. Like, I be getting soap, and I like go all up in my ear and I wash that shit out. Like, who doesn't do that? I feel like, I was talking to some people and they were like, yeah, I don't do that. And I was like, it's gross. It's gross. When do you think the last time you did that? I don't know. I don't know that I ever have. I was like, oh God, clean it. Clean it. That's nasty. You clean every other part of your body, but you're neglecting that? Like, dude, clean it. Your ear was itching? They also had to do the last big puzzle dungeon twice because the game crashed and the checkpoint wasn't an autosave. Damn. Well, at least you knew what you were doing in the dungeon. That dungeon takes a while to get through your first time. Did it go much quicker the second? I mean, I'm assuming since you knew what you were doing. Yeah, it didn't run great on my PS3 either. It's just a buggy game. And apparently it was worse before. Inferno is like the fixed version. That's like the remastered version. That's the one that's supposed to have less issues. No Q-tips there? Oh, you mean like shoving a Q-tip into your ear to like clean it out? Yeah, you shouldn't do that. They've got these little, they use them on babies a lot to like help like pull out boogers and stuff, but they're these little like bubble things, and they've got a kind of like a syringe on the end. You're supposed to use those to kind of like help suck out like earwax and stuff. Or there are some other ways that you can do it. There's like some solutions and stuff that you can put into your ear, like hot, not like hot to burn yourself, but like to help like break up wax. You know, you put like a cotton ball in there and you like seal in the liquid for a little while. It helps break up the wax, and then you kind of just like empty your ear out. It's kind of gross, but it works really well. Behind the ears is the most satisfying clean. Oh yeah, right back there, man. Yeah, because that's stanky back there too, man. That's real. That's real stanky back there. That's real stanky. Solid ideas, not great execution, which is par for the course for Alone in the Dark. It did have some really interesting ideas. It came out before Uncharted, too. So that whole, like, train falling sequence, like, some of those execution points that the game has, like those cinematic things, over-the-top action stuff, that shit was all, like, adapted into stuff like Uncharted. Like, a lot of those things, like, if you thought, like, the game felt like it didn't quite know what it wanted to be. So it was kind of like bridging the gap between action, adventure, and horror. And it wasn't really quite into anything. Interesting ideas, like the inventory on your person, rather than going in and having, like, a menu, you just have your person as an inventory. Interesting idea. Maybe not so much the combat, what's the word I'm looking for? Physical combat, you know, where you've got to use like the right stick to swing and stuff like that. That's not great. That's really awkward. Like having to like hold a button down and like move a chair to like aim it into the fire. Interesting idea. Nobody had ever really done that before, but it's not executed well. Some of the puzzles took a while to figure out what you're supposed to interact with. Yeah. Ear candles are a scam. What the hell's an ear candle? You, like, melt wax into your ear or something like that? What is that? I've never even heard of that. Break up the wax, you want to say there's a power rule track? Rub off the wax? That's nasty. That's nasty. Yeah, the way they're implemented is not very well.
Oh.
Kate Walker.
I have no recollection of that, Oscar.
I'm not surprised. You had apparently been drugged. It was also apparent that the private detective kept the keys to your bonds on his person.
Is that when you got the idea to use the chandeliers?
Oh no, that came much later, Kate Walker. At that precise moment, I developed the first draft of my plan. Seek the keys in your attacker's pocket. After all, I do not know of any problem that a gentlemanly discussion cannot resolve, in normal times at any rate.
I see.
We're gonna go talk to the guy that kidnapped someone. That's a good idea. A lot of them aren't just fun. I respect the fact that they tried something very different. Like, there really isn't much out there prior to that like that, if anything. It did some things first, and I can appreciate that. Like, the fact that you can... Like, dude, who would think that pouring alcohol on your gun would create fire bullets? I hate it, and it's also really cool. I hate it, and it's also really fucking cool. A lot of the crafting system, and we use crafting lightly here, is unique and interesting, and it forces you to, like, it doesn't force you, but it encourages you to, like, try different combinations. I think that's cool. Maybe it's not great, but I do think that's cool. It's clunky. It's clunky. Menuing is a lot cleaner and smoother, which is why I don't think we see too much where they act in the way that it does. Is just way too clunky. But it's certainly a clever idea. But Teak, you're not going to play Illumination? I thought Teak and I were going to sit down and play some Illumination together. Do some co-op. Man. Talk about disappointed, man. Talk about disappointed. One in particular is weird because every other combination is relatively intuitive. Yeah, for the most part. I agree. Most of the combinations are intuitive. Fire bullets... I don't think that's a real thing. I don't believe that fire bullets are a real thing. Fun idea, though. I do like shooting bullets of fire. Double-sided tape makes things sticky. Handkerchief makes a Molotov cocktail. Yeah. The throwing the, I guess, gasoline bottles and shooting them's a bit silly, but sure. Started playing Resident Evil 4 for the first time ever, and you're so upset that you didn't play it sooner. It's an incredible game. I'm glad you're liking it, Moxie.
There is no question of going back to that sinister town.
What version of Resident Evil 4 are you playing? Are you playing the remake, or are you playing the original one? Pouring booze on bullets that doesn't do anything but ruin your bullets? One would think. One would think. Yukles left some pumpkins behind. We go up there? We can. Where'd that train come from? Oh, so the original one. Okay. Cool beans, man. Hope you have a good time with it. Pretty long, too, compared to the other Resident Evil games. At least the ones before it. Well, maybe not Code Veronica. That one... Code Veronica is pretty darn long. Where did that train come from? Oh. Okay. You're about 9 hours in. You got about 20 more hours. Where are you? Where'd you get to? I want to play the remake. I'm actually excited to check that out. You like RE4 Remake better? Nice. Yeah, I've heard good things about the new one. You got separated from Ashley. Oh, so you've already rescued her. Now you got separated. I think I have an idea about where you are, but what do you let? Whoa, what are you doing? Like, where are you? What part in the world are you? You're in the castle. That's what I figured. That's what I figured. Fighting some monks and loving it. Yeah, fighting the monks is something. Fighting the monks is something. Las Plagas. That castle, I think, is... I don't know, I think maybe that was one of my more favorite parts. I was not a big fan of the village area, but I think I enjoyed the,
I need that key that Canton has.
Okay. I think the castle, because the castle felt a little bit more, you know, Resident Evil-like. You know, you're going around this big area, you know, this big building. Definitely felt more Resident Evil-y going through there. There were some parts of the castle I didn't enjoy, but I think that was one of the better parts of the game. For sure. The first time I played RE4, I don't know, I have not hid my opinions about RE4. I hated it. Like, I absolutely hated it. I thought it was one of the worst things I had ever played. After playing it again, or, well, I guess actually, like, beating it and playing it.
Damn jalopy!
Excuse me, sir?
Yes?
I'm a friend of Kate Walker's, and I believe I understand that you wish to leave with her.
That's right. I have a warrant for her arrest. Not that that's something a robot like you would understand. As soon as my vehicle's fixed, we're going to the States.
I'm an automaton, and alas, I am unable to permit you to do such a thing, so I must ask you to please set her free and attend to any other duties you might have, and rest assured we shall do the same.
Or else what, you pile of bolts? No way I'm letting her go. You got that in that rusty kettle of yours? Because of her, I've crossed half the planet, been hit by blizzards and wild animals, and she almost got me thrown in jail in Valsamore.
It sounds like your problem, man. Oh, we'll give him a stern warning.
If you refuse to permit Kate Walker to leave, I feel I have the obligation to inform you that I shall be obliged to employ certain violent and underhanded methods.
I'd love to see that. Get out of here, or I'll turn you into a pile of spare parts.
Very well, if that is your wish, sir.
Well, he threatened him.
And that's when you decided to take out Canton with the chandeliers?
Patience, Kate Walker. You know that the success of that type of operation requires careful planning and method. I therefore first found myself in need of a place propitious for the implementation of a new plan. I observed that with only very slight assistance, a portion of the ceiling would collapse on your attacker. A train from the station could then open hostilities. W equals F times D. QED. The ceiling would then be on the point of giving way, but it still required an essential piece. The target. Because no doubt, Mr. Canton would not dare to venture beneath such a ramshackle building without having a very good reason. so I decided I needed the right bait to attract him to the most opportune spot. All that was then required was to finalize things by demonstrating the exactness of Newton's second law.
They were gonna murder him.
Fine. I believe that we should go on our way again.
What? But that's it?
Well, yes, Kate Walker.
That doesn't make sense. When I came to, Canton was underneath a chandelier that had fallen from the ceiling.
Oh, is that what is bothering you? Well, let's just say that my plan evolved as it became more concrete. Nothing that is really worth mentioning, believe me. Come on, what is the problem now?
Nothing. It's just that I was expecting a more breathtaking ending, to be honest.
Well, if this might serve as a moral to my tale, Kate Walker, the proof that a plan is indeed well designed is that it is executed without a hitch. It lets you efficiently gain what is usually lost over the course of time. You must always have a plan, you know.
I guess so, yes. Anyway, thank you for the story, Oscar. I'm gonna sleep now. I want to be in good shape for when we get to the border. Good night.
Good night, Kate Walker. That was a well-oiled plan. Let's just hope that Kate Walker will take good note of it.
What really happened? What is this? It's so stupid. But, you know, after I played it and I kind of tried to throw aside my biases, I actually had a decent time with it. I still think that it's plagued by a bunch of problems. Like, I still don't really like the controls of it. I don't think that the tank controls match well with the kind of action that they're trying to do. Like, I've got all kinds of qualms with it. You know, they want Resident Evil 4 to be an action game, but it doesn't control like an action game. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. No, it's like Alone in the Dark. You had some really clever ideas, and I think it set forward a plan for games in that third-person perspective going forward. Honestly, you know what I think did it better? There's a game called Cold Fear that came out right around the same time as Resident Evil 4, and Cold Fear is not a perfect game, but it's often called a Resident Evil 4 clone. It's not a Resident Evil 4 clone. They actually came out like within like a month of one another, so it's impossible that it was a clone of it. They were in development at the same time, but I think it did a lot of those mechanics in RE4 better. It's not a great game. You can definitely tell it's a budget game, but I think it handled that a little bit better. The best linear third-person action shooter of its time, and fuck it forever for being so. I think you can make a case for it. I don't agree with it. I think the controls hold it back from being something truly amazing. If it had better controls, I would agree with you, because a lot of the set environments, the combat, the execution, like, that's all interesting in some way, but the controls just need to they need to be better, which is why I'm looking forward to playing the remake, because the remake doesn't use those controls anymore, and that I think would make it a lot more fun to play. I am not opposed to tank controls. I think that they work in certain situations for certain games extremely well, but I do not think that they had any business being in Resident Evil 4. I know that Capcom didn't want to stray too far to make the game not seem like Resident Evil anymore, but they already changed so much. They should have at least, because no other game, there were other it's not like third-person shooters was created by Resident Evil 4. Third-person shooters had been around on, you know, the PlayStation and Dreamcast and the Saturn and Nintendo 64 before Resident Evil 4, you know. And those games, some of them definitely had tank controls, but the further we went into like the PlayStation 2, the Xbox, the GameCube era, the more refined those controls became. And so it was weird going from those games, the more modern controls for like that style of third-person shooter, and then going into Resident Evil 4 and going, oh my god, man, they made an action game, but it doesn't control like an action game. And controls are a very big part of a game. Very big part of a game. So if those controls don't jive with you well, then yeah, it could be problematic. And I think that's really, for me personally, what holds Resident Evil 4 from greatness is just, it's the same thing with fucking Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime, I bet you, is a lot more fun with modern, you know, first-person shooter controls than it is the way that it was, you know, originally implemented. Like, I can see that potential there for this game to be something special. I think some other things need to change in RE4 as well, but the controls are like my biggest hurdle. And so I couldn't say that it would be the best linear shooter just because I hate the fucking controls. But I get why people enjoy it so much. I get why people enjoy it so much. It definitely innovated, for sure. It absolutely did. Absolutely did.
Impossible to enter the car, but I have to be able to start it from a distance.
Certainly changed how people approached the third-person shooter from going forward from that point. But like I said, Cold Fear, which came out at almost the exact same time, I think does it a little better. I think world design and atmosphere and all of that, and you know, there's not much of a story in RE4. What there is kind of fucking silly and absurd, but that's Resident Evil 4. It's supposed to be a B movie. Cold Fear, I think, tries to take itself seriously and comes across as a bit hokey in that regard. Cold Fear definitely has its problems too, but I think control-wise, it does what Resident Evil 4 should have done. Dude, you can move and shoot in Cold Fear. That's one of the biggest things. That is, to me, that's one of the biggest things. You can move and shoot. Why you couldn't do that until Resident Evil 6 is fucking beyond me. You could move and shoot. Like, yes. Like, that's already a win. That's already a win. That's such a good win. That's a huge win. Moving and shooting. Booting and scooting. I got you, Bill. Taking a shower before bed. Very interesting. Very interesting. He seizes her in a Hollywood-style clinch that moves quickly into a European art house embrace. Who fucking wrote that? Oh my god. Oops, sorry. So sultry and so poorly written all at the same time. It made me hot and angry. The new version of hangry, hot and angry. You don't shower before bed? No, that's gross. I shower after, when I get up. I want to be clean in the morning. I've always done it that way. I've always showered in the morning. Sometimes, like, you need to get home. Like, if I, like, say I went and, like, sported, I'll shower after I do sports and stuff, but no, you're not clean. You're not clean. You're pretty dirty. You know, you're getting nasty through the night. No, I disagree. I disagree. Morning shower. You know, I feel like evening shower or morning shower is like toilet paper above or below thing. Work is sweaty. No, I totally get it, man. I understand. I totally understand why. You get home, you want to feel clean after a long day. I totally get it. I get it. You know, I go in the bathroom in the evening, wash my face, you know, brush my teeth, floss, then go to bed. No, but I've always done it that way. Always, always. Morning shower person. And sometimes, if necessary, you know, worked out, you know, did like some real hard exercise, and I got super sweaty and nasty, yeah, I'll do that, but no, morning shower. Evening shower is mandatory for people who sweat for a living. The morning shower is optional. For you, you don't function before your shower. Yeah, my shower kind of wakes me up too. It's a great way because it's kind of like getting your body moving and ready for the day. I agree. That's another thing that like helps wake me up in the morning. For sure. The shower wakes me up for sure.
It doesn't work. Illegible. It is nonetheless obvious that these are the controls used for starting the car. No time to lose.
Yeah, but it's the morning for me, so that's nighttime. Yeah, but it's my morning. They're two different things. It's when I'm waking up, that's when I shower. So don't throw semantics at me, you silly Billy. You silly Billy. Yeah, I honestly wouldn't function super well if I didn't shower in the morning. Huh. You gotta be the morning shower. That's the life. Well, what else can we do here? Cool, I poured oil onto an electronic thing and it worked. Alright, Bill, thanks for hanging out.
Ah, so that isn't the control used to start the train. Only the result has any real meaning, I guess. Time to free Kate Walker now.
Why would there be a lever that unleashes the chandeliers?
I need to have the keys to free her.
And why would that be anywhere near the train controls? I don't need quit inserting logic into my video game serial. You got it. My bad. My fault. This is my fault. I didn't mean to do that. Take a look at the chandelier.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
You don't think that would have killed him?
He's breathing, but when he wakes up, we will be far away.
I feel that something that big and heavy, if it hits you in the head, you gonna be dead, right? Ooh, gun. And gun. And gun. If you see gun, you take gun, right? Like, isn't that a rule? I feel like that's a rule. I hate this robot. Oscar? You like the name Oscar?
Kate Walker, time to wake up.
What's a nickname for Oscar?
All is well, Kate Walker. It is all over.
Car? What's up, Car?
Thank you, Oscar. But, Canton, did you see him?
See for yourself. He is just over there.
Is he...
He is fine. Please don't worry. Let's just say that he won't be chasing you again for quite some time. Now we should go. Your nomad friends are ready and waiting for us.
Thank you so much, Oscar. But you're right. We have to leave here as soon as we can. Meet me at the entrance as soon as you're done.
What? Talk to...
Come on, Oscar.
Okay. What? What? No.
A plan. Must always have a plan.
That was the DLC? Okay, that DLC was terrible. That's all I'm gonna say is that DLC was terrible. This game is good and bad. It's definitely buggy. It's got its issues in that regard. For coming out in 2016, it kind of looks like a PS2 game. Like somewhere in between, like an early PS3 game. Kind of looks like a super early PS3 game. Doesn't control horribly, it doesn't control great. One of my biggest issues is I understand why they have fixed camera angles, but it also kind of hurts it in a way because there are definitely hidden entrances. When we were at the beginning of the game, like, I walked into a wall and we walked into another room. Like, there was nothing that indicated this is a path you can go down, you should try to walk over here. There's a bunch of that throughout the game. When we were in the Olympia Stadium there's like a bunch of woods. There's nothing that indicates that, like, the camera doesn't shift in a way or move that would say, hey, look, you can go down here now that you've walked across this. That's all they had to do. One of two things. Have an indicator, you know, like one of those things that pops up that says, you know, hey, you're going to go into another area, or shift the camera. And there's a bunch of those situations where if you get close to that, the camera should shift to show you there's like this optional path going down. When you're in the clinic, there was like a hallway like right next to the elevator, but it didn't look like a hallway. It didn't look like anything. And all the camera needs to do is shift slightly to show you, hey, this is a place you can walk down, and here's a place you can go into. But the game is kind of like plagued by that. You can kind of move the camera up, down, left, and right with the right thumbstick, but it's not like it's rotating around here. You are in a 3D environment. And the reason why they do that is because they don't want you missing specific key points to look at stuff. So I understand why they don't give you like full 3D camera control and full like environment walking around like a normal like third-person game. So they've got the fixed camera angles so that they can kind of like guide you a little bit better. It just doesn't work great in this instance. I feel like they just needed to like continue to like tweak it a little bit more to make it work a little bit more. By and large, the puzzling works relatively well. There are a lot of filler areas, like stuff that you don't do anything in. Like, this is just like a connector. They had that too in the first game as well. Just areas that you walk through. Somebody spent hundreds of hours rendering this shit and drawing this shit, and you just walk over a bridge, and that's the only thing you do in this scene. Like, you're in the town of, Valensborg? Was that it? Valensborg? The town that you go where you meet Steiner and all that. There's just so much in there that, like, you don't do anything with. It's just like, yep. I mean, it's there for atmosphere, you know? Man, like, somebody spent, like, all this time and, like, at least there's, like, people wandering around, NPCs and stuff like that, which kind of give it, like, this lived-in feel. So I appreciate that. But yeah, a lot of areas that there's just nothing going on there. It's nothing bad. It's just an observation, really. The puzzles, though, they work relatively well. There is some kind of, like, hunting around sometimes. Like, do I have everything? I made a mistake at the end of, I guess it was the first stream we did of this game, when we were opening up the locks, the gates, so that we could get the boat out of the bay, or whatever it was in, its enclosure. And we were, like, running around, and I looked at the schematic that they showed us, and I was like, okay, we need four cogs. And so I had only found 3, so I continued to run around looking for another cog, and the cog was there the whole time. I'm just an idiot. That's not the game's fault. That's my fault. You can't get angry at the game for doing something like that. There are a couple of moments where they're not obvious. When we were at the encampment for the Ukels, after we got out of the clinic, and their big yurt, you have to fix a stamp machine in the checkpoint, and you have to talk to the blacksmith. I thought you had to talk to the woodworker to make a stamp for you, because that makes sense to me. I guess stamps can be wood or metal. But when I talked to the blacksmith, there were never any dialogue options or anything. And when I walked over to the blacksmith and I hit the inventory thing, you couldn't give him the leather pad that had the imprint of the stamp on it. So I thought that, you know, maybe we needed to give it to the woodworker, but we couldn't give it to the woodworker. Like, he just wouldn't take it. You had to stand in a very specific spot to interact with the blacksmith. So you could talk to him off to the side and nothing would happen. But if you talk to him around on the side of his forge, which was not very easy to get a position into, so that the dialogue box would pop up on the blacksmith, which is why it was easier to go closer to him and get the dialogue box to pop up. But you couldn't interact with him until you did that. And that was a little bothersome. That was a little bothersome. But by and large, the puzzles are logical. They make sense. Sometimes you have to hunt things down, and sometimes you don't have a lot of clues as to what you need to be doing. The final puzzle, when we were trying to get across the bridge and we were working on that oven furnace thing with burning the resins so that we could create color smoke signals, I guess. There was nothing that indicated anything that you were doing something right in there, and I think maybe a little more feedback in that would have been nice. We figured it out, like, just through like bumbling around with it, but sometimes a little bit more just nudging goes a long way. You know, you don't have to spoil everything. You know, there was a mirror, like, light puzzle. I like the mirror light puzzle things. Holy crap, did that thing look complicated. When they first show it to you, there's like 40 different things you can interact with. That was fun to figure out, but I could see people getting stuck there. I could see people getting stuck there screaming at that. We got through it relatively quickly, but I could see people getting frustrated at that. I can definitely can. But there was a lot of kind of like wandering around. The world is a little bit bigger. Kate moves kind of slow, and it's not always clear what you're trying to do. Now, that said, the game does have like an easier mode. There were 2 difficulties. There was like adventure mode and voyager mode, and voyager mode offers a lot more in the way of like tutorial and hints and stuff like that, so maybe that side of the thing helps a little bit more. But I think they could have bridged that gap a little bit better. Just in-game bridged it a little bit better. Not without like spoiling and giving away, you know, puzzles and stuff like that. I'm never looking for that, but like all the other Syberia games, the subtitles do not match at all to what the characters are saying. Like, there seems to be a lot more elaboration in the subtitles than what the characters actually speak. It's a little bit shorter what they say. Sometimes things feel a little bit more natural to the way they're speaking. It feels like it's like book versus what people say in real life. You know, things are fleshed out a bit more in the subtitles, whereas they're a little bit more brief and things like sound more the way a person would talk. It's just weird that they're so wildly different. It is weird, but that's been the entire series too. It wasn't as egregious in the first two games, you know, it'd be a few lines here and there. But this one, definitely, like rarely do they match up. Rarely, which I found kind of funny. There were also, this game's definitely buggy too. This game is definitely buggy. I think it crashed once on us, but like there were some like weird hitches and stuff like that. Like they were skipping dialogue. Like they would have like a pregnant pause and then the dialogue would pick up. Sometimes the dialogue would just cut off randomly. So it's definitely got some buggy issues. I looked to see on a couple of sites to see if there was something to fix that, and I couldn't find anything. So maybe it's just a me thing. Maybe this game, there were some weird hitches and stuff, and could be my computer's getting old. You know, it's kind of hard for me to tell nowadays, like whether it's like my computer acting up or whether it's the game itself. But most games tend to run fine, and this one just had some issues. Like it seemed to get worse and worse as we played longer. Like at the beginning of the game, I didn't have issues. Like you would zoom in and you would have like action things. They're the little circle things that tell you, hey, you can like look at this or interact with this or take this, you know? And sometimes those would just go away. And I would have to exit out of that screen and jump back in so that we could interact. Like the interaction bubbles just weren't great. Like sometimes if you were facing towards something but you were like slightly too close, you couldn't interact with it. Like there at the end of Oscar's little DLC thing, I was trying to talk to Kate. Like they spawned you in and the bubble was there, and as soon as like they gave me control, the bubble went away. And so I was like walking around Kate trying to like get the bubble to pop up. You have to be like in this like really weird space. If you're too close or if you're too far away, you can't really interact with it. You have to be right within a specific vicinity sometimes. That's something that I remember being part of like early adventure games, but I'm talking like early 3D adventure games, not like stuff that came out, you know, 6 or 7 years ago, like this game did. This definitely felt like it was developed earlier than when it came out. I'm kind of curious. Like when this, like how long it took for them to develop and make this game, because it definitely feels like a generation prior. Like mechanically. But that's not to say that, you know, the story was engaging and fun. The dialogue between the characters is amusing. There's some humor in there from time to time. There's some weird mispronunciations with words. Like, it's automaton, and one of the women was saying automaton. Iodine instead of iodine. Iodine. I'm sorry, the iodine is not available. Iodine? Automaton. Automatons assemble. It was weird. There's some weird pronunciations there. I'm not holding that against the game. That's just fun. But by and large, it's an amusing game. I think the first two games are a little bit better, but I like the puzzles in this game. There are some puzzles in this game that feel a lot more puzzly that were really fun to do. So I don't think that 1 and 2, Syberia 1 and 2 are probably some of my favorite adventure games, point and click adventure games. They're just really cool and fun. I think something about the atmosphere and the story, you know, the pseudo steampunk kind of feel that you get from it, you know, the automatons being like these like robotic creatures, and they're like all over the world, or at least on our adventure because of Hans Vorarlberg and the lore and stuff. I really like that. Something just really appeals to me, and there's logic to how everything works. It's not just moon logic, like combining random things together to make progress. There actually feels like a logical solution to why these things exist, how these things exist. They kind of feel natural in the world. Sometimes they don't. But by and large, they do. Like, you can look at something, apply a little logic, and think about it for a second and go, this is what we're going to do this kind of thing. And then you go, yeah, it is. Maybe with like a little bit of a twist, but by and large, that's how they operate. And I really appreciate that. Like, it just doesn't feel like, here's a crazy solution that just doesn't make sense, and that's what makes it difficult. You know, the puzzles just feel logical, and you feel good for thinking about it in that way. Like, I liked it for that. That's fun. The music's really nice too. Good ambience. I really like the more Tomb Raider-y soundtrack of the first game. This one kind of like evolves in a slightly different direction, but it still fits. Like, I enjoy the music quite a bit in this game. I enjoy that. But yeah, graphics maybe not the greatest for this generation, and the controls are a little bit clunky and goofy, and the camera's not fantastic. But just about everything else about the game's a lot of fun. And graphics don't make a game, you know. As long as you're having fun, I think that's really, at the end of the day, all that matters. And this game was definitely fun. I was afraid that it was, oh no, there's another game. there's Syberia 4, Moxie. Oh, there's Syberia 4. After work today, you're gonna build your Costco shed with your nephews? The thing has like 1,000 screws? Dude, that sounds like fun. Have fun building your shed, man. I always like doing that kind of stuff. That kind of like labor I always find fun. It's adult Legos, man. It's adult Legos. I love it. You like Kate Walker as a character you'd want to show over Misadventures? I think I would too. I think she's a well-written, entertaining character. Apparently Benoit Sokal, the guy who kind of created this series, he was a French comic artist. He died just a few years ago. And I think some of that kind of like bleeds over into this quite a bit. Which I also think kind of like, even in just the, I mean, even if you look at the what do you call it? The fonts that they use in the game, they're very comic booky. Whatever that comic book font is, it's got that same kind of feel. Like, everything is like uppercase letter. It's got comic font, Comic Sans. Yeah, the games are they're fun. I like Kate. I like her adventures. I like her character. Yeah, the voice acting solid. The game's just good. The games are good. I've enjoyed 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2, I genuinely feel are some of the best point and clicks that I've played. Some of the best. They're just, they hit me in, like, I don't know, the fun adventure spot, you know? But yeah, having Kate go out and having adventures in Europe, dude, I would totally watch a TV show about it. I absolutely would too, man. I totally would. I think it would be a lot of fun. I don't know if the credits like loop or not. I always like sitting through and watching the credits. But yeah, we're gonna play Syberia, I think it's called The Beginnings? Something, The New Beginnings, something like that. We'll check it out. Might as well. I mean, we're 3 games deep. Yeah, 3D Duo. Yeah, I think it's looping. I think it's Lupin. I think it's Lupin. Yeah, I had a good time with this. Genuinely. Really fun time. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's more adventure. And I was really curious what happens, because at the end of 2, Kate gets Hans Vorarlberg to the mythical island of Syberia, and he just pieces out with the mammoths that are there, and then Kate's just left alone. Like, what happens to her afterwards? They don't really explain how she gets off the island. She wakes up at the beginning of the game in a little pontoon boat. I mean, it's not even a pontoon, it's like a little rowboat. So maybe she like took a rowboat from the Siberian island and like passed out on it and it carried her back to land. I was curious what she was going to do, because for all intents and purposes, she was like abandoned there. So I was like, how is this going to continue? Like, what are we going to do? How did she get off there? Did she just live her life on this island? Nope. Nope, she somehow manages to get off of it. I wish we got to see that. I'm a little sad that we don't get to see that kind of part of it, but I'm glad that like we actually got like, you know, a little bit more closure to that or not, because it was kind of a strange ending. It was a strange ending.